Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bronze Grade Podcast. This is episode 36. I'm Lawrence, and with me this week is Dixon.
Yo, what is up?
Hey, Dixon. What's the news for this week?
Yeah, there wasn't too much. There's a few things that we can quickly discuss. Out of all three of us, only Jackie has a Switch 2, obviously. It's, a little too expensive to purchase at the moment. But there was an article about how the Switch 2 sales are actually trending 77% ahead of the time-aligned sales of the original Nintendo Switch, which is very interesting because I feel like there's nothing on the Switch 2 really to play. But let me give you some monthly console sale numbers too, because I thought this was really cool. So in America, Switch 2 sold 371K. This was last month. Stat, I believe. PS5 sold 203. Xbox Series X and S sold 71K. And surprisingly, Switch 1 is still selling at 51K in America. When you switch to Europe, PS5 is reigns supreme there at 273. Switch 2 at 235. Switch 1 at 71. And then Xbox at 38. In Asia, no surprise, Switch 2 is at 476. Everyone loves the Switch 2 over there. PS5 at a good 366. Switch 1 at 118. And then Xbox sold only 7,000 something units over there.
I'm surprised it's reached 4 digits, honestly.
I know, I was really thinking it was going to be nothing. And then last, Oceanic, like Australia, New Zealand, PS5 is number one there, 32K, Switch 2 at 29, Switch 1 at 6, and Xbox at 5.7. So actually the lowest of the regions there. And why I bring this up is I just think it's surprising that Switch 2 is selling at the rate that it's selling, because I just don't think there's too many games out that are like, oh my god, I need to buy a Switch 2 like right now. And you can't even call it FOMO, because I've been reading that this time around, Nintendo actually made enough consoles. Like, scalpers aren't a thing right now for that.
So I think the reason why it's selling so well is because they have enough consoles out there. Because, I think the limit from Switch 1 and, let's say the Wii, Switch 1, whatever, the sales limit was because they didn't have enough out there. I feel like because they have it out there now, and people who want it are just getting it, right? They don't have to wait 2-3 months. And maybe it's going to have a sharp decline in sales later on, but I don't know. I feel like having consoles out there is good for this run, at least.
I don't think it's bad that they have the consoles out there. It just surprises me that I just don't think there's much on it. What do they have right now? Mario Kart, which I hear is apparently a shit show. Like, Sonic Racing is like outpacing Mario Kart right now, because apparently in Mario Kart there's something how apparently you can, when you're playing online, you can just skip to the next stage or something. But then Nintendo actively took that out and forced everyone to drive to the next stage. And everyone's like, what the hell is this bullshit? And what else there? I think Zelda remake released or something, right? Or like not like a remake, but like ported over? Or am I thinking something different?
No. So the two Switch Zeldas have the upgrade option. I don't think there's a new Zelda product out.
Right. And then besides that, Donkey Kong?
Yeah, Donkey Kong is really the main thing. So Donkey Kong and Mario Kart are the two main products that I know of out there. I don't know, because I almost feel like part of it is because a lot of people like their Switch, and the Switch 2 is sort of like just a beefier version of Switch, and I think the performance upgrade for the existing games is enough for people to get in, right?
Right.
You have things like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom with the if you're subscribed to the what do you call it, the Nintendo Switch Online service, you can get the upgraded version for free, right? And I think a lot of people actually have it because it's a relatively cheap subscription compared to the competitors.
Right.
So I think it might be worth it for a lot of people just to get that. in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why people are going.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I think this one has a backwards compatibility, right? So a lot of games on the Switch One you
Exactly.
can play too. And I get
Yeah.
it. I don't know. I just feel like it's just still not a console where I'm like, oh my god, I need to buy this very instant. Especially if there's so much stock. If there wasn't a lot of stock, I would probably feel a bit more FOMO and be like, oh god, do I buy one now or do I buy one later? Right?
Honestly, like for me, if I have intention of getting a Switch 2 anytime soon, I wouldn't mind getting it ASAP, right? Like, especially at a time right now where you don't know how long it is going to be until a price drop. Especially when other consoles are like, 4-year-old consoles or however old the current consoles are, they're actually going up in price instead of going down. Like at a certain point, like, why not? Like if you intend to get it at some point, it's not the worst thing to get it right now. I know there's not too much out like that's exclusive for it,
Mm-hmm.
but for me there would be things that I would want, but that's only because I like the GameCube, and the classic console thing I think is a is a big plus for me.
Right, right.
It's just not big enough for me to pay, what is it, 600?
699. 699.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not worth that.
Yeah, and it's pricing aside, I just don't find it that I need to. I don't need to Switch 2, right? But it's again, it's
Well,
just
I think
surprising.
I just think you don't even play your Switch much as is, so I don't think you would be the target audience anyway.
No, I haven't really played my Switch for like a while now. So I mean, I
Yeah.
and it's funny because I have two Switches. I've my old Switch and I have the Monster Hunter Special Edition Switch,
Oh my
which is
god.
just like
You
I don't
also
know.
have a Steam Deck. You also have a Steam Deck,
I
and you
almost
don't
a
really
Steam
use
Deck,
it,
yeah. Yeah. So it's
right?
just all just sitting somewhere. Uh, but and also like going back onto the console sales too, I'm still surprised that PS5 is still selling, even Switch One, because I mean I would assume everyone would go towards Switch Two unless the pricing is that big of an issue. That people will still buy the Switch One because I feel like eventually they're not going to make Switch One games anymore.
I think it depends on who's buying them, right? Like it could be parents that's like, oh, it's a relatively cheap option. I'm just gonna get one for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if they split up the sales with the like the different models of the Switch One, because there's what was it, the one that's the Switch Lite, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
one that's just non-removable Joy Cons. That's basically just
Yes.
one slab, right? I think that is
Yeah.
probably very good for kids, at least younger audiences,
Yeah.
because I heard
Yeah.
that one's a little
Fair.
bit more sturdy,
Right.
right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I can see that one being decently sold
Right.
for at least for the current time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just one of those kind of interesting things. I mean, especially like if you look at like the Asia numbers, again like Switch 2 at like almost 500K, Switch 1 is still at almost 120K. I mean, at this point, like because I mean, obviously their pricing is lower than ours anyways, or lower than
Yep.
the rest of the world. So for me, I mean, like, why would I buy a Switch One? I mean, of course, like you're saying, like if they're buying for kids, gifts, and all that stuff, maybe they don't want to spend the money on the Switch 2. But again, it's just a little surprising. I mean, I would just buy a Switch 2 if you gave me the option, right?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, if I'm buying, well, I'm just trying to think. When I bought my PS2, I think that was already partway into the PS3 life cycle, so I'm one of those people. But I think it is weird because the Switch 2 does have basically 90% backward compatibility. Backwards
Better
compatibility, right?
compatibility, yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think some of the older consoles doesn't really have that. Like when I got the PS2, I think the PS3 models out there doesn't have the backward compatibility anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, it is kind of weird, but who knows?
Yeah, and I remember when I was going through this article and stuff, a lot of people were kind of end up talking about, oh, like why don't you guys just get a PC and like consoles are dying and stuff like that. And I don't know how much I agree with that. Consoles are dying. I feel like just I think it just depends on your preference level, right? Like I prefer being on a computer because I can do other things while I play a video game. I just personally feel sitting in front of a TV just takes away from like me doing something else, if that makes sense.
Uh, I get it because I'm also much more of a PC gamer nowadays. But like, there is something about the convenience of a console that I don't think you can replicate on PC. We are more PC, you know, savvy, I guess. I'm not really that savvy, but anyway, like there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to deal with the hassle of gaming on PC.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to, I don't think there's any convincing them to do otherwise, right?
No, of
Like for
course.
them, people like those, I think console's totally fine, right? Um, yeah, like PC is definitely great for a lot of things, but it's not convenient, especially w- with the different builds of PCs. A lot of times, troubleshooting something can be very difficult. Like, why does my game not work?
Right, yeah.
Who
No,
knows,
for sure, yeah.
right? Right. And I think especially when if you're talking about like Nintendo stuff compared to PC, at a certain point, Nintendo just has a bench of their franchises that you just can't get on PC, right?
No, and
Compared
yeah,
to
for sure.
PlayStation and Xbox, where basically everything comes to PC at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
no, I get that. I mean, exclusive games are definitely something that always didn't irk me, but it was one of the reasons why I would buy a specific console, right? It just nowadays I feel like most games, unless they're like hardcore, like licensed by like something, I'm looking at Nintendo, right? Zelda's never been
mm-hmm.
on PC, I
Yeah.
believe, unless you emulate it or something. Something like that, yeah. Like I wish Zelda was on PC. It'd be fun, but I know it's never gonna happen. I mean, Pokemon's not on PC too, right? From what I remember.
No.
Yeah. So, and those would
The
be
the closest they
mhm,
like they've been on phones and stuff. Like
right.
they've
Yeah,
tried their phone stuff, but not on PC. Correct.
yeah. And I feel like like Bloodborne. I know is a PS5 exclusive, and a bunch of other games. It's it just it's more comfortable for me to be on a PC. I just have gone past that time where I would like to sit on a couch and play a video game for like 2 hours uninterrupted, I guess. And I think even at this point in my life, I don't know if I would pick up a console because there's an exclusive game coming out. Unless I like really love that exclusive game. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I kind of agree. I mean, that's why I didn't really get the Switch one until way late in the life cycle myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at a certain point, I love Nintendo games, but there's not enough for me to get one. Again, until the library is really built up.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree. And again, like I think I'm in a similar space in terms of like I just play games on my PC. Most of my gaming setup is on my PC anyway. It's not, how should I say it? It would be nice to have a really nice TV and sound system set up for me to game, but I don't think I'll ever have that set up here. Just because like there's other people I'm gonna be interrupting if I really blast this sound. So I'm only playing on headphones anyway,
Right.
and yeah, it's just not happening. But I can see some people wanting that really theatric experience with their video games, and at some point your PC setup is probably not where that is.
No, but I feel like people could argue that like, oh, just plug your console into your monitor and then you can do both. It's still not the same. I feel like I don't know why I can't explain it. It's not the same to me. Like, and that means I would have to have
Yep.
all my consoles like next to me. I already don't have enough room on my table or wherever I would put the consoles, right? And again, it's just I tried that before. I used to have my Switch, my PS5 like hooked up to my monitor, and I sometimes would play like a console game, but it just never clicked. I don't know if it's maybe the graphics just aren't as good. I sound like Jackie right now, or something else. I have no idea, but I just rather play on a PC that's innately like on the PC. not something that I have to like turn on my console, switch my monitor output, and then start playing.
Well, I think it's just something inherently. And let me rephrase it. When you play on a monitor, I feel like the distance is a lot closer than on a TV. Maybe that's part of it. Like suddenly you're way closer to the flaws of the of the graphics. And I it's kind of weird because at this point a monitor and PC, they're kind of the same resolution. If you have, the similar resolution stuff, it doesn't have like the old school CRT thing, so you don't really have that effect with consoles plugging into the monitor nowadays. So I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't really have that hang up, but you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the biggest deal. It's just weird, right? And I don't know why it's weird. It just becomes weird. And then I just sit there, I'm like, with my controller in my hand, I'm like, well, fuck this, man. Turn it off.
Would you rather play your Switch in handheld mode, or would you rather have it plug into the monitor?
Depends on what I'm playing. What am I playing?
Oh, I don't know. Zelda?
Oh, man, I wouldn't even play Zelda anymore. I don't know. I think I play handheld mode. I enjoy lying in bed and playing stuff like that.
Oh my god.
Right? I don't know, man. Like, if I'm sitting here with my Switch, I'm like, why don't I just play a computer game?
Yeah.
Right?
Again, it really depends on your priorities in terms of the actual franchises and games you like to play. There's just a lot of Nintendo stuff that I would like to play. That's why you can't really get that on PC. Right?
No, and I agree. Like, I mean, like I said before, there might be a handful of Nintendo games that I would want to play, but it's not like if I don't play it, I'm gonna like cry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think I think at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna, if I were to buy a Switch 2 to add on to these numbers, it'd be much later.
I think it would be the same for me. Yeah.
Yeah, just like I said, there's just nothing. In my opinion, there's nothing.
Do you have like a list you can bring up of like big games right now for a Switch 2?
Yeah, Donkey Kong. Mario Kart. Is that not what's out?
It's just weird because they also had the whole mouse thing that's going on for the console, but I just don't see them being able to utilize that.
Yeah, and I remember we talked about this briefly too. I think not the original, but like the first few wave of consoles, I think there was issues with them where the Joy-Con, they assembled the rail backwards. So the Joy-Con went in backwards. So it was like an upside down like Joy-Con on the left side. And it was like, what is
that's
this?
That's like early adopters issues. That's fine. I don't really care about that shit.
So right now it looks like I said, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Kirby Air Riders, Jamboree.
Kirby, yes.
Jamboree TV, I believe, is coming out with it as well. Mario Tennis is coming. Hyrule Warriors is coming. Oh, the Dust Bloods is coming. That's the from FromSoft. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Bravely Default apparently is coming. Wild Hearts is on its way. So there are things you could technically play.
Yeah, nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing like, oh my god, I need to buy this right now. Hold on.
But I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Like, think back to previous, even Nintendo consoles, right? I think Switch had a very strong open just because of Zelda.
Right.
But like, what else? Right?
What was it called? Switch Resort or something?
Yeah, like I feel like Switch had that one big game. I don't remember there being that much for a little bit. Oh, I think Smash Brothers pretty early on too.
Yeah. So just to add on to the games, Kirby the Forgotten Land is coming. Pokemon Zed Legends or something.
Oh yeah, that's soon, right?
Yeah, and then Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
That's actually pretty soon. That's in December.
The thing is, some of these are cross-gen.
Mm-hmm.
So Like I might end up getting Metroid on Switch. I'm just concerned about performance issues more than anything. Right.
I think you'll be fine with the performance issues, if there's any.
So I'm just thinking, the 3DS had a shit launch lineup, right?
Did it?
Really early on, because from what I remember, the launch was so bad they had to do something. Like Nintendo had to give early adopters some benefits. Like what do they call it? Ah, shit, I forgot what the thing they did was called. Ambassador program.
Dude, are you kidding me? Nintendogs was shit? Are you kidding me?
Was that 3DS or DS1?
3DS. Well, it
3DS.
It was on a 3DS that it also came out with it. So I don't remember when Nintendogs actually came out.
Because Nintendogs was an original DS game, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, because I remember the Ambassador program was done. Like they basically gave out free games to early adopters because the launch was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that thing still ended up doing really well. So I don't know.
Well, again, I'm not saying it's not going to do well. It's just more of, why do Nintendo always launch with such shitty titles? Like, can you not like get your shit together and then launch? Like, I don't understand.
I'm more surprised they didn't pack in their sort of. They have sort of like a system demo thing. I think they're selling separately for $5 or $10 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more surprised they didn't pack it in.
They find no one would like it.
Yeah, I don't know, right? Because I feel like the Wii did really well because they packed in Wii Sports. I feel like if they didn't do that, I feel like that console would not have done nearly as well. It's just weird, right? Like, especially when you have a game that's basically just there to highlight your system's features.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that not just packed in?
Who knows? Just moving on a little bit. Still on Nintendo, because I thought this was, yeah, it was kind of lackluster. I guess I don't know the normal life schedule, or I mean not life schedule, but the schedule of how many games they release for the virtual consoles. So in October, they're releasing 3 more games for the SNES virtual console. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
Nope.
No. So they're releasing Bubsy, Claw of Encounters of the Furry Kind. I don't know if you remember Bubsy.
Oh, I
It's the
remember
fox
Bubsy.
looking
Yeah.
like. Yeah. They're also releasing Fatal Fury Special, which I thought was kind of okay. I fucking hate Terry. Don't talk about it.
I thought they already had a Fatal Fury on there. Oh, whatever. Sure.
I don't know. And then the last one, apparently this is the first time releasing outside of Japan. It's Mario and Wario. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I believe it actually was never released in North America. Sure. And it just looks like a very like mouse click kind of game. I don't know if that makes sense.
Great.
Yeah. And so why I bring this up is is this usually what they release, just 2-3 games and they're like, haha, fuck you guys. And that's it?
The classic console shit on Switch is a total crapshoot. It's always been really bad.
Yeah, which is so dumb because there's so many games on it. Like, I think I was reading some comments and then people were saying like, wow, still no Chrono Trigger. Wow, still no this and that. I'm like, yeah, why is there no the games that people want?
You think Square is going to let them release Chrono Trigger on this free service? Like, oh, are you kidding me? And that's the problem. Because you have, like, Nintendo can push their own games out on it, right? And at this point, I feel like they already pushed a lot of the big names out on their older ones. Then you're relying on the bottom of the barrel that other companies are just going to be like, here, whatever, just throw this one there. I don't really care. Like,
right.
And that's the problem, is then you have stuff on there that I've never heard about. Like, what was that? Tough Enough? Like, what the fuck is that?
Tough Enough?
Yeah. There's just a bunch of games that people don't really know about. Of course, you have things that's a little bit more popular, like Street Fighter 2, you have some Fatal Fury, right? But that's on a good month.
Yeah, it's just weird to me that they don't take more advantage of it. But I get what you're saying because obviously it's not that Nintendo owns all these games. I mean, like you said, Square is not going to let that go for free. But it's just more interesting that they're not doing much more to try to negotiate, since this is something that a lot of people are really wanting, right? Not just Chrono Trigger, but just more like SNES or any other virtual console games to come out. Instead, they release shit like Bubsy. Like I don't know whose idea that was.
Well, it's weird because the Switch Online service has always been in a weird place. Like you need it to play online, but how many Nintendo games are you playing online anyway? Right? You're okay. People play Mario Kart online. Okay. People play Smash Brothers online. Like how much else? Splatoon. Okay. All right. It just feels like it's not as much of a not as important compared to like Xbox Live or the PlayStation Plus to play online. And for me, the cooler thing is really that they have a pretty wide spread of consoles to go with, and I feel like a lot of the Nintendo key games are actually on there for a lot of these older ones. It is the third party games that's a little bit more lacking. Um, and of course for the newer consoles like the Nintendo 64, they haven't hit all the big games yet, but honestly you look at some of them, like the I feel like the Game Boy Advance one has a really strong library in there right now, and even the N64, you have some really good ones that I wasn't expecting to see. Sort of like for me the best stuff on the N64 on there are stuff like Blast Core and Sin and Punishment, which I'm like, great, you got those on there. I'm sold. And like maybe throw in the Zelda games. Great.
Right.
At some point you're gonna reach to a point in the libraries where Nintendo already put all their games on there, and then the third parties are just gonna give you the bullshit. Like you're not gonna get the big, you're not gonna get all the Final Fantasy. You might get like one or two, if anything, if you're lucky.
Right.
So
Like
yeah,
just quickly going back to your comment about the like the online, like compared to PS5 and or Sony and Xbox. I feel like Nintendo definitely has the weakest online like subscription presence in out of the three, right? Because you don't get anything from it. Yeah, you get like your virtual console and stuff. But that's pretty much it.
yep.
I don't know what you feel about that.
Well, I think they can also argue that they have the cheapest subscription fees of the three,
Oh, okay.
right? Like to just play online, it's not that much. I don't remember how much it is a year, but it's like what, $60 a year USD, right?
Yeah,
Whereas
I think
whereas
so. Like around there.
whereas the others would be paying like what, 10, $15 a month. So
Well, Xbox is now $36 a month.
but that's
Right?
the Game Pass, right? It's not just the online portion.
No, it's the same thing. No, I know. It's just the
But
just
yeah,
the
yeah, and like I think that's how Nintendo can argue the price proposition is that you're paying half or even a fraction of that cost to do that, and they also have their classic console subscription. But it is the worst part really is that their online infrastructure really sucks. Like their netcode in general, from what I hear, is no good. Like Smash Brothers, not great and whatnot. So, I don't play Nintendo games to play online. So,
yeah. I need to play a Battlefield on the Switch.
yeah,
I
yeah.
need
The
that
few
sick
times I played,
FPS.
the few times I played Smash Brothers online, it was not a good time.
Yeah, I hear it's not like too good. I think my brother used to play it online here and there, and sometimes you get disconnected or his opponent will disconnect or something. And again, no idea if that was because of the net code or maybe they just did it on purpose.
Well, I think part of the problem is that your Switch doesn't have a hardwire like for network connection, right? There's no option for that.
Right.
So you're never going to get good connection that people really want. It's always going to be wireless.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, I just think, like, realistically, I just think that them bringing in 3 games in was just pointless. They should have just left it and just not bother telling anyone.
It's typically like that. Like if you look at the number of games in the library in general, for how long this console's been out, I don't think there's actually that much.
Fair enough. I'm just gonna move on here. So I know I was gonna bring this up when Jackie was here because I know he'll enjoy this topic so much more than the two of us. But I felt like I just wanted to quickly talk about it because I thought it was hilarious that this game is being made. I think I showed you a bit earlier, but Ranger's Path National Park Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
So the creator of these games also made Police Sim, Firefighter Sim, Construction Sim. And they're also releasing a new game called Seafarer the Ship Sim, which actually is kind of interesting. I saw like the trailer and I was like, oh, this is cool. You like live on a ship and you like, deal with stuff like you're a ship hand or whatever they call them. But going back to the National Park Simulator, I don't know how I feel about this. I think it'll be hilarious to play. From the trailer, I just watched you just picking up trash and like literally doing what you would be doing if you were hired as a ranger. I just thought it was so funny. I don't know if I would buy the game, not at full price. I might buy it for fun, but what are your thoughts on it? I know you said you were watching a stream or something earlier.
Yeah, there's a stream going on the Steam page, but I don't know. I think I understand the appeal of some of these games, but it's really not for me. Like I already have a full-time job. I don't need to to play a full-time job on video games, especially when it's not very interesting for me in the first place. Like I can see firefighting, like the police simulator, being a little bit more eventful and something that I might be able to find more engaging. But I don't know, park ranger, not really a life for me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love working my job and coming home to play Ranger Park Simulator. It's time for my shift. It's you get into a Discord with people working shifts.
Yeah, I would love to basically come back from my job and then play Papers, Please every day, but without any of the writing. It's just that process. Just
that process.
Border patrol, border guard. But yeah, no, park ranger. Nothing about the park ranger, the job is that interesting for me. Maybe for people who are into that stuff might find it interesting, but it's not my thing.
I don't know. I think the graphics look pretty good. I don't know if you saw the graphics.
Yes, I think it's better than the really, really garbage simulator games where it's like an asset flip. I think this one looks better than that.
Are you talking about Scheduler 1? Is that what you're talking about?
Dude, Schedule 1 at least has an actual art style.
Just on a tangent, I actually watched like a video on Scheduler 1. It's kind of hilarious. It's actually pretty well, like pretty in depth, I would say. Pretty in depth. I'm really curious what Jackie would say about this, but sadly Jackie's not here.
Nope.
I don't know what he's doing, but
we can bring it up next week. He might be like, "Oh, I'm all into this."
He already pre-ordered it. He actually has it on his wish list. I'm checking right now. Okay. Overall, though, would you buy the game?
No.
On sale? Not on sale? No, never.
If you guys want to play, I wouldn't mind like putting down maybe $5 on it, but otherwise, I would never play this by myself.
Why not? Oh, so okay. So I was just googling. So there's actually 2 park ranger simulators. I didn't know that. So one is a different company. It looks like.
Sure.
But it still looks like the same kind of mechanics and stuff.
Look, Dixon.
But I don't think
when it's a simulation, they should really be doing the same thing. Like 2 simulators should really be doing the same thing. I don't know what you're expecting. Like. The job is the job.
Listen, it could be different. You never know. It could be completely different. You could having to do like, I don't know, like
You're, the other
I
one's
don't really know at this
basically
point.
you're on a sniper perch. You're gonna take out unruly park visitors.
I think that would be hilarious. It'd be a great game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like that guy just threw trash on the ground. Snipe him.
Yeah, fucking get him. Okay. Anyways, moving on here. So this is more up your alley. I know we kind of briefly talked about it, but Skate and Skate Story. I think that's what it's called, right? Skate Story.
Yep.
That was, yeah. So just a brief thing on Skate that I've been reading. I don't know if you know this, but obviously it's open beta or early access, I think.
I think it's early access. I don't remember. I don't remember what it's called now.
Yeah, early access. So early access game on Steam. It's huge mixed reviews. People complaining about how they can't even finish a tutorial, it crashes, or there's not enough to do. Shit's boring, not enough moves. A bunch of complaints that I feel like could get fixed in general, but it's by EA, so we'll see.
I don't think we're gonna talk about the whole EA situation right now, right?
No, that's not a. I mean,
That's
we
not
could,
a topic this week.
What was it? So in an early access game, they released a battle pass. They call it the Skate Pass, and you get stuff. Blah blah blah. People aren't very happy about it because they're like, "It's an early access game. Why the fuck you release a battle pass?" Well, because make money, obviously.
I don't know if you mentioned
But-
that it's actually free to play, right?
It is free to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is free to play. Yeah. But apparently they're also peddling a very expensive Dead Space skin that looks like dog water, apparently, for $40.
I saw an
I don't know if you've
article
seen that.
title, but I've not actually seen the outfit.
So it just looks like Isaac, right? That's his name?
Yeah,
Dead
yeah,
Space
yeah.
MC?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, it just looks like him in his spacesuit. I don't know.
Sure.
Does it look like shit? Maybe. Is it worth $40? Probably not. But apparently it's $40. Uh,
Look, I don't know.
So-
I have no problem with them selling dog shit outfits for really expensive and mark it up to that price point, right? Because if it looks ugly, who the hell cares? No one's gonna buy it. No one's forcing you to buy it, right? Like if it looks
No, it's
great,
true.
that might be like, oh, now you're really incentivized. But it looks like shit, then it's like, whatever.
Yeah, and I mean that's a thing that people don't quite understand or don't feel like understanding. Cosmetics are cosmetics. You don't need to buy them unless like this is something that furthers your game. Like we'll use gacha as like a huge example. If I don't get the unit and then I'm behind or something, right? Then that's a little different. But if it's just cosmetics, no one tells you need to buy the skin. The character comes with a skin already. You don't need to buy another one. It's only if you want it that you can buy it. I get that, like, you don't want to see, like, what is it? What do the people call it? Like, predatorial gacha tactics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But again, with cosmetics, I've always felt like cosmetics are fine. I'd rather see, like, someone, like, give me, like, tons of cosmetics than to tell me that I can I can pretty much purchase a character, like, max level right off the bat.
Yeah,
And then just
I
destroy the
agree
game with it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Like buying cosmetics is better than pay to win for sure.
Yeah.
Like especially when you
Mhm.
have multiplayer competitive involved. Yeah, I 100% agree. It is a really weird thing. It's a slippery slope with the pricing though, because if you're saying $40 for this, what's to say the next really amazing skin isn't going to cost $40? And I get that. It's
Mhm.
it's just weird because I feel like Fortnite's really pushed hard into the whole cosmetic thing, and I think
Yeah.
there was a whole culture of like if you don't get skin, you're basic. Like it's
You're
you
right.
know, right? And I think
Mhm.
that's the part
Mhm.
that is a little bit disgusting. But I don't know. I don't really have strong feelings about paid cosmetics, especially for a free to play game, and also like for something that looks dumb.
So just on that topic, like I'll use myself as an example. Like obviously I'm a gacha player,
Mhm.
And I've seen cosmetic skins, weapon cosmetics. I've seen like shit like where if you don't buy the cosmetic, you lose stats, like that kind of stuff. And I
Yep.
think that to a point is disgusting because
Mhm.
now you're saying that if I don't buy, especially if there's PvP, if there's PvP and you're telling me I don't buy this skin, now I'm gonna have like 5% less damage than the next guy, and I'm gonna lose because of that. That's pretty gross. Uh, so $40 for a skin to me is pretty cheap. What you have games like I think Girls Online 2. I think they released it in China. I think they're doing it here soon. I don't know if you ever heard of Skin Gacha. Pretty much like you get like three or like couple of free rolls, but you don't get up to the point where you unlock the rollable skin, and then you pretty much it pretty much costs like I think over like $100 or like $200. I don't remember the pricing to like actually pity the skin. If you're unlucky, you could get it the next roll 100%, but 9 times out of 10 you're pitying that skin, so now it's become like $150 skin. There's a joke going on right now in Girls Frontline 2. I don't know if it's still, I'm sure it's still a meme, but pretty much they're releasing one of the characters for as an anime figure, and people were joking that the anime figure is cheaper than buying her skin. And I thought that was so gross. But yeah, like that kind of stuff, I feel like if Skate decides to do that, then yeah, then that's gross. Like now you're telling people to spend like hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to get like a skateboard that says something different or whatever. But this kind of things happens a lot in gacha games. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
no, I mean, I just think that that gotcha games really fucked you up. This is not okay.
What are
um,
you trying to say here, huh?
but I think part of the problem is like the skate games, skateboarding games in general have like a really strong customization thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to lock a lot of that behind the pay stuff is a little disappointing. But it's a free to play. It's hard for me to argue. But suddenly you're charging people so much for skins like this, it becomes a concern. I think again, if that's gonna be basically what's happening with future cosmetics, right? It might be $40 for Isaac now, but what's to say, the next T-shirt isn't gonna be $10 just for a T-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So I know you have some experience with the Skate series. I don't know, like how you feel about the current iteration of Skate.
I played maybe like an hour of Skate 3, and that's my history with Skate.
I thought you played more. You fucking lied to me. No, I'm kidding.
No, look. I was always interested in Skate because I think the mechanics seem really cool, but in
Mm-hmm.
actual control, like when I actually play it, it's hard as hell to actually play.
Right.
Like, maybe I might be exaggerating before. Like, I think I maybe played like 4 hours of it, not just 1 hour, but it's like a lot of time was me just skating around the skate park and just trying to grind rails or do some pretty basic tricks. But I really
Mm-hmm.
went into that from like Tony Hawk stuff. So suddenly I'm doing like really basic kickflips or whatever, and be like, oh, this is so much more difficult. This is so much more difficult than Tony Hawk led me to believe. And the whole thing with skate is that the right stick becomes your tool for basically doing anything, like from ollie, from to kickflips and all that stuff. And my biggest difficulty with the skate game is that because everything is mapped to the stick, suddenly really minute differences between inputs changes the trick entirely,
Right.
right? And then you have challenges involved that's like nail this trick, and suddenly I'm there doing like, fuck man, I'm doing the same thing, I know what I need to do, but because of that little angle difference on the stick, suddenly I'm not getting that trick, and it's kind of a pain. And I also, my favorite part of skate was the Hall of Meat mode, or what they call Hall of Meat, is basically you do tricks and then you do bails and see how badly you can mess up your skater. Like, oh, you broke 5 bones, you broke his ankle, you broke his pelvis, and that was a huge part of my enjoyment of my time in that game. And they took that out of this version.
Kind of weird you would enjoy that, honestly.
Hey man, watching your character ragdoll is always fun.
So I don't think I really played a lot of Skate, but my experience with skateboarding games would just be Jet Set Radio. That's about it. No, even that wasn't really skateboarding. It was like rollerblading, I think, right?
It's not really that much tricks involved either, right? Like, I know there's tricks, but it's like
it wasn't that
very
much.
basic. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you wanted to try Skate, but I think you said your computer couldn't handle it, right, or something like that.
My graphics card doesn't have the capability to update the drivers, so
Yeah, that sounds like a time for an upgrade there.
oh, shut the fuck up. Not gonna happen.
What the? So I know you played Skate Story demo yesterday.
Yes.
Thoughts? I mean, I saw some of it, and I thought it was just weird.
So I know you have an issue with the art style, with the graphics. I thought it's unique. I don't mind it, but it's very severe for sure. It's like very dark, and then a lot of very crystalline themes, I guess. Like your characters basically crystal, and then you have these crystalline, dark and red crystalline things that will kill you, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think visually, I'm okay with it. It's trippy, I guess, is what you could say. It's like the whole game is very vibes heavy. I think you have your visuals, you have the music, and all that, and I think it's very good. From the demo, it feels like there's a very strong speedrunning influence in terms of like, at least from what I can tell, right? There's a huge chunk of the game that's basically you go from start to finish. There's an obstacle in the way. You have to do tricks and grab certain items. I feel like further in the game, there's going to be more difficult things like that, more obstacle courses like that, and it just feels like it's geared towards speedrunning for those sections, but there's no real, like, there's no time or anything that's shown on there, so I feel like it's a little bit weird that it feels that way. There's another section where it's more open world and you're supposed to grab things, you're trying to find objectives, talk to characters and whatnot. That part I feel like is a little bit iffy. And then there's also the combat where
man, kickflip them for 5,000 damage.
Yeah.
So
so you do tricks, you do combos, and then you have to slam the board to basically do a multiplier on your combo, right? The whole trick system feels off for me because it feels like you can't fail at tricks. Even if you start tricks, you can never, like, I've done things that feel like I should not be able to pull them off, and I've just landed all. Like, there's nothing that I bailed or anything. So the trick system feels like it's just there for the combat, which also feels a little bit half-baked for me. I think the main thing is trying to keep your speed up, and then when you do tricks at higher speeds, it does more damage. And that's kind of the whole thing, is you got to be in the flow. But overall, the actual gameplay portion feels a little bit iffy for me. I'm not really into what I played. I can see some people getting into it because of the vibes, but the combat, like, none of the actual sections feel really good for me. I think the best part, I think the most polished part is probably the speedrunning portion, right?
Right.
But I'm not really into that stuff, so.
And I can definitely see, like, the speedrunning portion of this game, because as I was watching, you're kind of going through like the levels and stuff. It's definitely going to be like speed tricks and all this stuff. I can guarantee it'll be a speedrunning game.
Yeah,
I just think
right.
it's just too flashy. I mean, your main character is like a crystallized man, and I'm like, bro, like that's too shiny for me. My eyesight hurts.
Check your eyes, bro. Oh, I forgot to mention my biggest problem, like by far the biggest problem with this game, is the pacing. Like the
Right.
cutscenes, the dialogue is way too long. Like
Mm.
I get that some of the dialogue for me is okay. There's a few parts I thought was really funny, but honestly, a lot of it just feels way too slow. And again, it could be a vibes thing for some people, but for me, it's just not doing it. Every time dialogue comes out, I'm like, just skip it, please. Like I just try to mash through it as fast as I can. Sometimes they're telling me objective stuff. I'm like, you're way too convoluted with the wording. I just something about the
I'm,
text is just not doing it for me.
I'm wondering if they're gonna add like a skip button later on when it kind of releases or something like that.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure people are
possibly.
gonna give people feedback and whatnot. Quick thing here. I think we talked about it, but Skate Stories, developed by Devolver. Enter the Gungeon is what they made before.
No, is it
Uh,
developed by Devolver? I don't think it's developed. It's
I
publisher, right?
think it is. Hold on, let
Yeah.
me. Oh,
Devolver's
sorry.
a
Yeah,
big
the
publisher.
publisher is
Yeah.
Devolver. Yeah, sorry. Developers by Sam Ing. Sorry, that's my fault. I was reading the wrong
Hmm.
thing. So it's pretty cool that this guy or this person is able to bring his story to to life. I just think he could have definitely picked a different main character instead of crystallized man. I don't know if you get skins for him later on. You put a T-shirt on him, but I guarantee you, T-shirt's shiny as fuck too. So
Like
it's like you're gonna be able
I'm
to
just gonna
see
say,
anything.
I'm just gonna say, I don't have a problem with the character design. I, from
Okay.
what I can tell, the customizing is on the board side, not the character side.
Which kind of sucks. I feel like it'd be cool to have a shirt on him or something. I don't know, just a me thing, I guess. But it's just too shiny for my eyes. It actually hurts. The whole level fucking hurts, man. I'm like staring at it, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Who's playing for this game? So overall, would you pick this game up?
Probably not for me. I wouldn't mind trying more of it at a later date,
Mm-hmm.
but what's there right now just doesn't jive with me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Would
Okay.
you be interested? You're probably not, right?
Hell
Just
no. I
just
mean, I'll
cuts into
watch
your
you
eyes.
play, but yeah, it just hurts my eyes the whole time. Is this being old? But no, skate games themselves I don't find too interesting. I think if it was more like an open world, kind of what skate is supposed to be, I'd be more inclined to try it. But like a story driven skate game with skating, skateboarding as like a almost I want to say like a secondary mechanic, it definitely is not of my interests at all.
Hmm.
But moving on here, which I think something will be both our interests. I know we talk about this, we play this a lot. Vampire Survivors Online Co-op is coming soon. Quick
Hell
thing
yeah.
about it. I think you've read a bit more than me. I just know there's no screen drag. Um, and level ups are just a bit weirder. But just a quick thing, if you haven't heard of Vampire Survivors, it's a 2022 independent roguelike shoot 'em up game developed and published by Luca Gallant under the studio name Poncol or something like that. And and to Jackie's demise, it did win Game of the Year, or sorry, Action Game of the Year in 2023 in the Dice Awards. Even though Jackie's like, "What a shitty game," but definitely a fun game. I think a lot of people have played it. I feel like there's not a lot of people probably have not heard of it. But with the online co-op, I don't know. I feel like it's cool, but I feel like we were playing it fine without the online co-op, and I feel like that
Well,
was a better experience.
it was.
No.
It's weird because for us, we can use the Steam online thing, basically
Mm-hmm.
a screen share method, right? I don't know
Right.
if that's a possibility with consoles, right?
That's fair.
I think that's really
Uh.
why this. like this may be a bigger deal for people playing it that way. But like, yeah, I
Mm.
think from what I remember, the leveling up thing feels really weird here. Like what they changed with that. No screen drag is nice for sure, but I don't know how that works for how that works when things are bouncing around two different screens.
Yeah, I feel like when I mean like yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that works. Sorry, just to quickly interject, there actually is no crossplay as of yet. Apparently, the developer said that it's not out of the question, but obviously we know how crossplay works. You need to make negotiations with all of the online servicing for it to work. So a lot of people were joking that it's was it Sony's giving them shit for it, but who knows?
It's
But just
Nintendo.
going back to yeah, it's probably Nintendo. But just going back to the game itself, I mean, it's not like he's adding anything new. It's just an online co-op, which I think is cool. But I don't know. I kind of would have liked him to or them to release like another. I think they are doing one more expansion or
Sure.
something, another free expansion, and I think that's it. I definitely would have liked them to do like a couple more because I mean the last one was Castlevania and I thought it was
Uh,
pretty cool.
we need to get back to it. I still want to play those Castlevania ones.
Yeah, we definitely need to try to beat the Castlevania stuff. So definitely, definitely something we can do.
I just
So
personally don't think I would want to play it this way though. Like the way that they introduced it. I still think the way we played it, where we're stuck on the same screen, I kind of prefer
oh
that.
yeah, I think we would have to see. I definitely would give it a shot
Oh yeah, yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes out.
yeah.
Try to see how it feels and then
Do you
kind of go
know?
from there. But yeah,
Did they say
Mhm.
when it's actually coming out, or it's just
I
coming out
think it's
soon type thing?
sometime. I think it's sometime soon. Actually, I think was it November
Okay.
or something like that. I think it's only coming soon. I don't think there's actually
A date.
yeah, just coming soon. Yeah, just coming soon. So hopefully sooner than later.
Okay.
So I know we briefly talked about this uh game, CloverPit.
Mm-hmm.
I know you saw it and you're asking me like, oh, like what if you would enjoy it or you think you would enjoy it. So brief thing about CloverPit, it is I think they described it as a love child of Balatro and Buckshot Roulette. Panic Arcade is the creator. They made other games kind of like Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom, very like Nintendo 64 kind of like driving game. So I thought that was kind of cool. So CloverPit's a slot machine game where you can manipulate the slot machine to earn extra coins. You can use prizes and charms to trigger bigger combos for more coins. Kind of like how Balatro is. You can use different cards, different effects, different jokers. However, this game apparently has quite a bit of negative reviews because it has some not like problems with the game, but a lot of people are saying that the slot machine mechanic is just too simple. Like the patterns and symbols they are saying that they don't change, and the method of scoring is pretty much static. Like there's no like interesting way to score besides like. So apparently, what they say is like you just increase your odds of a specific symbol by just like shoving more coins into it. So then if you hit it, you hit it.
Oh.
Yeah. So unlike Balacho, where you can do different combos of jokers, different combos of cards, and all that stuff, people are just saying the game currently is just too basic. Even though it did sell, I think, 500K in the first week, which is great. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I think a lot of people were just hoping for more. And with that in mind, I don't know. Like, how do you think you would still enjoy it, or?
I wouldn't mind trying it, but it is kind of disappointing hearing that it's basically static wheels, I guess.
Yeah, they're saying how the patterns are like very predictable, and you kind of can figure it
Yeah.
out, and you're like, oh,
Mm.
that's kind of it. So I think, I mean, again, I don't think it's like oh a dead game at this point. I feel like it's definitely work. They can work on it and
Mm-hmm.
then make it into like even like a better game. It was just a few people that kind of complaining on this. I think it's mostly positive on Steam, anyways.
Okay. Yeah, if it's cheap, I wouldn't mind trying it, but it's not one that I'm really itching to play. It's just I saw it, and I'm like, oh, it looks neat. Looks kind of frantic in a fun way.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds you of at least it definitely reminds me of like Balatro style kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that I don't know if you feel the same way about that, but I definitely feel like it's kind of like that.
And honestly, like visually speaking, a lot less oppressive than Buckshot Roulette. Because I think I've heard good stuff about Buckshot Roulette, but every time I see that game, I'm like, oh man, if I have to sit here and play this game, I would feel so icky, I guess. Like, have you seen how that game looks? Uh,
I have seen how it looks. I don't know if I would play the game. It's
mhm.
not much of my taste. It's just funny. I don't know. Like all these games are popping up that use gambling as a crux of like making the game like interesting. Like like Balatro. I think Balatro's the very first one, and now you have a poker game, and then now you have a slot machine game. Are we gonna go roulette next? And you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think personally I would pick this game up. Maybe on sale, I would try it, kind of like how you were thinking. But it's definitely it doesn't interest me as much as how
As
Balatro
Balatro.
like ended up interesting me. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
I
weird because I'm like, even Balatro couldn't hold my interest for as long as I thought it was going to. Like, I think
mhm,
it's a decent game, but I just, whenever I look at it, I'm like, I'm just not as interested as I wanted to really get into it.
mhm.
Right? So,
Yeah. I think I mean they're both good games. I just don't think we're. I think for us we enjoy more actiony roguelike games
hmm.
and not like gambling roguelike games. I mean, I already gamble enough playing gacha games. I don't need more gambling in my life. Ridiculous.
Disgusting.
So final thoughts on the Clover Pit. You said you probably won't get it unless it's on sale, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat. I think Jackie would never touch this game. He's just gonna say,
No.
"It's a slot machine."
No, dude.
What do you mean?
Did you see how that game looks? Like, Jackie's not even going to touch it. Not even going to consider it.
He loves these graphics. What do you mean? He
Even if
likes
it's not,
Karateka, so
yeah, even if it's not slot machines, the moment he sees like the first screenshot, he's gonna be like disgusting.
what the fuck is this shit? Hopefully, Jackie makes an appearance next week. He can
So he
tell
can
us all
defend
about his.
himself.
He can defend himself. Yeah, so he can defend himself. He fucking loves like weird ass games. Does it have RTX? No RTX? Shitty game. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the week that I kind of noticed. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
I don't think so. I keep saying I want to play things and and make content, but as just haven't got into it.
It's okay. It's rough. It's rough out here.
Well, I think that's about it for this episode then. You can follow us on YouTube at Bronze Grade for all of our video content and podcasts, and follow us on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcasting platforms for all of our podcast episodes. That's about it for Dixon and myself. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
See ya.